All right. So, in case you're wondering, I did not make my time goal of 3 hours and 15 minutes at the New York City Marathon. It was really, really kind of like heartbreaking and soul crushing, and made me question if I even wanted to continue to run marathons. But yeah, I did not make 3:15. I ran a 3:22:57. Yesterday I was just miserable. Today I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm even actually wearing my New York Marathon jacket, whereas yesterday I just kind of wanted to throw it out and kind of forget the day altogether, pretend like it didn't even happen. The thing is, it's just so... It hurts so bad because 3:15 was at my fingertips. Like, I know I could have done it. I know I could have. If I just made smarter decisions from the start, I could have run a 3:15. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. It just drives me nuts that a couple of stupid decisions cost me 7 minutes. What a pisser. I had a great first half, and then once I started to slow down, I got into a negative headspace, and that was it. Like, I could not pull myself out of the negative self-talk and all that. So I can't even say that I really enjoyed my New York City Marathon, which is really too bad because it is such a fantastic race. So my first mile going up the Verrazano Bridge, I think it was just under 8-minute pace, which I was like, oh, that's pretty good. My second mile on the other side of the Verrazano was a sub-7 pace, which I knew was too fast, but I tried slowing down, but it just doesn't always work like that. And then everything else was pretty smooth sailing. I ran a great half. My half time was like 1:34. That was like a half PR for me. And I mean, 3:22:57, I can't really complain about that. I mean, my complaint is that I did not follow my race plan. My race plan was 7:25 pace, and I just didn't stick to that, and I should have. So going into this, though, I had a bunch of goals. The time wasn't the only goal that I had set for myself. I wanted to qualify for Boston 2021. I wanted to beat my time from the New York City Marathon I ran in 2016, and I just wanted to finish in one piece. So out of the 4, I accomplished 3 of them. So I think that was pretty good, but it was rough, and I just think my biggest mistake was I did not stick to my race plan. I was feeling good, and every time I looked at my watch, it said 7:10, and I kept trying to adjust my pace, and I don't know. I was just kind of like cruising along. I also don't remember from 2016 that the course was so hilly. Like, the bridges were insane, and it almost seemed like every time I looked, there was another hill coming, and I was like, where are all these hills coming from? And I run on hills every single day. Every day. I did plenty of speed work on hills, and I'm used to hills, but there's such a difference between racing on hills and just running on hills, or like doing like hill workouts. I don't know. There's a big difference, and it was rough. It was definitely rough. It was really like mile 21 where I started to slow down, and I couldn't get my umph back, and it really drives me nuts because I probably could have, but I was just in such a negative headspace, and the negative self-talk and all of that, I think that's what really killed me. And I would like to say that I had like so many things that I could recall and tell you about, but I don't really recall too much, except for the hills and thinking, where did all these hills come from? And I saw a couple people, one girl like fell, and there were a bunch of people that were trying to help her get back up, and she was like, no, I got it, leave me alone, I got it. And then another guy was closer to the finish, like he was down on his back, people all around him. I don't even know what was going on with him. I saw another guy at the end when we were walking to get our ponchos. He pulled off to the side and started puking. That was fantastic. And what else? I don't know. For some reason, when I run a race, I have a really hard time recalling details and like what order they go in. Like some people are like, oh, I was on this bridge or I was over by that road and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm busy watching the ground because I did actually trip up a couple of times. So I was keeping my eye on the ground. Oh, and then probably around like mile 20, 21, there's this guy that did not belong on the course. He had a camera. He was not a cameraman, but he had a camera that had this big, huge lens on it. And he was trying to get a picture of this woman that was like next to me and in front of me a little bit. And he came up behind me and hit my elbow, like right above my elbow, with this gigantic camera lens. Oh my God, it hurt so bad. And I have a little bit of a bruise from it. And I was like, he was like, oh, sorry. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And after he got off of the course, I looked over at him and I was like, fuck you. And I gave him the middle finger. I was like, are you kidding me? Why are you even on the course right now? Seriously. I just kind of feel too that like I wasn't super excited and super like anxious about this race, which I usually am. And I don't know if that really had anything to do with my performance, but I don't know. I feel like usually like the week before, not just the week before, but like weeks before, I'm like stressing out. I'm like excited, nervous, scared, whatever. This time, I wasn't really any of that. I was just kind of like, I don't know. We had a great time in the city though. My son got to see all sorts of stuff. We went to Chinatown. We had some good pizza in Little Italy. Overall, it was a great experience. It just sucks that 7 minutes kind of ruined the whole thing. And honestly, like I always thought New York was better than Boston. Like since I ran New York back in 2016, I was like, nothing is going to top the New York City experience. Nothing. Forget it. Well, this past Boston, I think, and I know some people might not agree, that Boston, the crowds and it was so much better than New York. I don't know. Like I just remember there was one part going in Boston. I don't remember exactly where we were, but there were the barriers lined up and there was that like corrugated plastic like signs hanging on those barriers, and the crowd, they were just like banging on those pieces of corrugated plastic, and they were screaming and cheering, and just the noise and the like everything, like it was so overwhelming. Like it literally made me like tear up, and I didn't have any moments like that in New York. Like I don't know why. Even the spots where I remembered like, oh, this is where the crowd is like fantastic, this is gonna be great, it wasn't like that again this year. So I don't know, maybe my expectations were too high. Maybe when I started struggling, I was kind of like, well, this sucks and everything about it sucks and I just want to get done. We'll see what happens next year. Hopefully Boston, we have great weather again. And I don't know if I'm going to run New York again in the fall. I did qualify for New York. I qualified for Boston again for 21. So we'll see. I don't know. New York, like, it's great, but it's really expensive. And I'm kind of like at the point where I don't know if I can justify spending that kind of money on going away for the weekend and running a race. Plus, it's a lot for my husband, and I know he doesn't truly enjoy it. Like, he's a good sport, but I think if I told him I was never going to run another marathon again, he'd probably be like, sweet, that's cool. So we'll see. But I would like to find a fall marathon that's like a little bit easier of a course, maybe a little more flat, downhill maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I do have some other video that I'm going to try to put together and show you, from like the expo to the corrals and all of that. So we'll see. And now I don't know what I'm going to do too about training for Boston. I don't know if Matt's going to help me again. He didn't really have too much to say. I told him I started too fast and I kind of blew up, and he said, that's what happens when you don't stick to the race plan. And that is all he said to me. Nothing at all since Sunday. So I don't know if he's going to be willing to help me again. I don't know if that's the way I'm going to, like, if I'm even going to ask him. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. We'll see. Oh, and my Garmin said that I ran 26.92, and I think on Strava or Map My Run, it came up as 26.96, and it made my marathon, it said my fastest marathon, and it said 3:16:47, I think. So I'm going to go with that unofficially, just because it makes me feel better. And just to like remind myself, like, you can do this. You can do this. 3:15 is not that far out of reach. You can do this. All right, I am going to get going. And if I think of anything else, I will put it in my other video. All right, peace out, guys.